Hey up everyone, and greetings from San Marco, Italy. I'm here covering the Venice Film Festival, and the very first film I'm discussing from this year's festival is the latest film from Michael Mann called Ferrari, which is all about Enzo Ferrari, played by Adam Driver, the man behind the Ferrari car empire. I guess you could technically call this film a biopic, but I think it's more of a character study about Enzo during a crucial and pivotal moment in his life, that being the year of 1957 and the events surrounding the Mille Miglia race, which became infamous. And going into this film, I knew nothing about Enzo Ferrari or the Mille Miglia race in 1957. It was like a history lesson for me, this film, and let's just say it was quite surprising to learn these events. So for the purposes of this review, I'm not going to spoil what happened in 1957 for anyone watching this review. Okay, this is a spoiler-free review. But yeah, there was an incident in 1957 involving Ferrari, and let's just say it had some devastating consequences for those that were involved in it. So yeah, the film takes place over the space of pretty much a year and is building towards the race in the third act, but the film also looks at Enzo's relationships to the women in his life, specifically his wife, Laura, played by Penelope Cruz, as well as his mistress, you can say, Lena Lardi, who's played by Shailene Woodley. And the film explores how Ferrari's actions and behavior in his personal life mirror and affected his decisions in his professional life and vice versa. So what did I think of Ferrari then? I did enjoy it, but I didn't love it. I'm just gonna say this right out the gate, okay? This isn't Michael Mann's best work, okay? This isn't Heat, but again, what is? But I will say, I did appreciate that Michael Mann made a character-driven film first and a racing movie second with Ferrari. I know the first trailer has dropped and it looks very flashy, but Michael Mann is a smart man, okay? He knows to put the genre conventions of a racing movie, front and center in the marketing, along with the star power in order to sell his movies. But once you watch it, there is more substance to it than you might think, okay? I liked that it was a drama family film first and a racing movie second. For those of you expecting this film to be like Ford v Ferrari, I would say you need to lower your expectations a little bit because the majority of the racing sequences occur in the final act, okay? This film isn't really prioritizing the action. Like I said, it's a character-driven film, not a spectacle-driven film. I actually think some people will find this film a bit slow. I personally did think that the first 2/3 of this film took a while to get going. Like it was a good 2/3 of the film before I was really invested in what was going on. I do think this movie was a bit too long. I think you could have cut out 20 minutes easily. So yeah, there are some pacing issues, particularly in the first half of the film, but when this film gets going, it gets really exciting. Like the last third of this film in particular was exhilarating, particularly with the Mille Miglia race sequences. They were breathtaking. And I will say it's shot really nicely, like particularly in the racing sequences, okay? It's very visceral and exciting. So yeah, the actual craftsmanship of this film is well crafted and it's well edited as well. I will say there were times where the visual effects did look a little bit clunky in places, but not enough to the point where it took me out of the film. The acting in this is solid, particularly from Adam Driver and Penelope Cruz, okay? They were the standouts to me in this film, but that's because they're the best written characters, okay? They're the most fleshed out. Shailene Woodley is also good in it, but yeah, she's fine. Let's just say that. Like, nothing to write home about. But I did think there was a lot of supporting characters that were just kind of there, and I would have liked to have seen more from them. They were a bit underdeveloped, particularly like the characters that Jack O'Connell, Gabriel Leone, and Patrick Dempsey were playing. Like, they're notable characters in the story about what happened, but they don't have a whole lot to do in this, and I was a little bit disappointed by that. But I will say this when it comes to all the Italian accents, having seen this film in Venice was a major advantage for me because there were a lot of Italians around to tell me what they thought of the performances after the screening. And two of my friends, Serena and Holly, both Italian, both were critical of some of the Italian accents in this. They were saying some of the pronunciations, some of the delivery was a bit off. But here's the thing, for a foreigner like me, I couldn't tell. Like, it didn't distract me, it didn't take me out of the movie. But to Italians, they certainly took a little bit of issue with some of the accents. But yeah, I can only imagine. Can you imagine if House of Gucci had gone to Venice Film Festival? God, the Italians would have obliterated it. Yeah, I will say the Italian accents didn't bother me. It might bother some Italians, but you know, I think most casual moviegoers will be able to enjoy it and not find it too distracting. I'll say this, the Italian accents are definitely not as bad as House of Gucci. Do I think it has any Oscars chances? Honestly, I don't really see Ferrari being a big player this award season. I do think that Adam Driver and Penelope Cruz will be in the discussion for Best Actor and Best Supporting Actress respectively, but I have seen better work from both these actors, which hasn't been nominated, so I don't really know if these are the roles that, you know, Academy voters are going to gravitate towards them, so while I think they'll certainly be in the discussion, I'm not putting them in either of my predictions for Best Actor or Best Supporting Actress. Could it get nominated elsewhere though? You can certainly make the argument for editing because we all know the Academy does like a bit of flash when it comes to the editing, and the sequences with the racing towards the end, they are particularly flashy, I will say that. So there's definitely a shot that it could get nominated for editing. There's also the argument to be made for sound, because sound and editing usually do go together. Although I will say there was a couple times where the sound mixing was a little off for me, like the scene where Enzo and Laura are fighting, like really going at each other, the sound mixing just kept dipping in and out. I don't know if that was a problem with the film or if it was a problem with the cinema that I was in. I think it might have been the cinema, but yeah, the Academy loves movies with vehicles, okay? So yeah, whether it's planes, trains, automobiles, fast cars, yeah, it's definitely not out of the question that it could get a sound nomination. But yeah, it's not going to be Oppenheimer, is it? But as far as other categories go, nope, I don't see Ferrari being a Best Picture contender. I don't see a directing nomination for Michael Mann. I don't see it getting into Best Adapted Screenplay either, because Best Adapted Screenplay is already looking pretty stacked with Killers, Barbie, Oppenheimer. Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen for Ferrari. I don't see this film being a massive player when it comes to the Oscars. I don't think it will be completely shut out, but it wouldn't surprise me all that much if it were to be goose-egged. So let's ask them 3 questions. Firstly, would I watch it again? Yeah, I would watch it again, but I'm not in a rush to go see this again, and I won't be adding it to my collection, let's say that. Question 2, do I recommend it for you guys? Don't go into this film expecting Michael Mann's best, okay? This isn't his best work, but it is serviceable enough and reliable enough. Some solid performances and excellent racing sequences. Again, don't go in expecting Ford v Ferrari. Like, there is racing in this film, but it doesn't really shift into 5th gear until the 3rd act. So yeah, I softly recommend that you go check out Ferrari. And 3rd question, what score to give it out of 10? A bit slow to start, but I did end up enjoying it, so I'm gonna give Ferrari a score of 5.5 out of 10. But as always guys, it's just one bloke's opinion. I'd love to hear from you. Are you excited for Ferrari? Have you seen it? If you have, what did you make of this film? What do you think its Oscars chances are? Whatever you have to say, let me know in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed the video, help me out with the little thumbs up button for more movie, TV, and Oscars related content. Don't forget to click subscribe, and as always, thanks so much for watching guys. For more things related to movies, TV, the Oscars, the Venice Film Festival, and all that, I'm Luke Airfield, and I'll see you next time.